2020 releases. Let's read them. Woo! Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Zach with Zacks Books, and today I've got for you a 24-hour reading vlog of these three 2020 release books. Two of them are book of the months for the months of June and July, and the other one is one that's been highly rated by some of the people who I watch and kind of listen to. My wife actually read the Only Good Indians, and she said she really enjoyed it, and so might as well just give it a read. First one I have is The Last Flight, which was my book of the month for June. It's about, I think it's about two women who like trade places for like a flight or something, and one of them's like trying to escape her past life, and I don't know much about the other one, the other woman at least. But that sounded pretty interesting to me. That's why I picked it as my book of the month. The Shadows is by Alex North. That is about a murder that happened, and it's like 24 years later or something like that, and the kid who knew the guy who murdered the people like comes back to the town, and a bunch of the mysterious stuff starts happening. Like there's copycat killers, like red hands are mentioned a few times. I'm assuming that's blood. And I did read The Whisper Man by him. It's kind of a lackluster book, but I'm hoping The Shadows can kind of lift me up from the Alex North drought. Maybe. We'll see. And like I said, The Only Good Indians, my wife read it. I don't know a whole lot about this. All I know is my wife said she didn't like elk after. And so, I mean, that sounded interesting to me, especially if it's got to deal with the fear of an animal. But yeah, we're going to give these three a read, starting with The Last Flight, and we'll let you know what we think of them. We'll see you guys in the next clip. Alright guys, I'm on page 57 of The Last Flight by Julie Clark, and so far it's been a pretty interesting story. Claire is in like an abusive relationship with some like high class, like lawyerish type person. He's got good connections with people, and she is supposed to go on a flight to, I forget where she was originally supposed to go, but then it gets switched to Puerto Rico, and she had sent some stuff to where she was supposed to go because she wants to leave the relationship. She sent like $40,000 in cash, fake ID from a friend, and something else, and they end up switching the flight last minute, and so the abusive husband goes with one of his people, and she gets sent to Puerto Rico. But she, at the airport, meets a girl named Ava, and she just got out of like a relationship. Her husband had died of cancer, and she's just trying to get away, and she's trying to like sucker someone into going somewhere else, as in like swap places. And so luckily for her, Claire shows up at the airport, and they end up switching. And amidst all this, when they leave, Ava's plane to to Puerto Rico, who she's pretending to be Claire now, actually crashes, and everyone died. And the plane that Claire was on, which I think was going to San Francisco, but the place where she goes, she ends up landing, and she's fine, and then she sees a report on a TV when she's there that her plane had crashed, and the names of the victims are yet to be released. However, when they went through security, all they had to do was just scam the thing on the phone, but they had already gotten through security, so it's, to the people on the plane, Claire was still there, even though it physically was Ava. And so now it's Claire, Ava, is getting texts from somebody named D, and so she's in her house now, and she's getting texts from somebody named D, unsure what's happening. But then, prior to the plane crashing, Claire, was getting texts from the husband saying, like, because the package was delivered to him, not because she wasn't there. And so he opened it, figured out everything that was going on, and was like, what the hell are you doing? And that's pretty much where I'm at right now on page 57. And I'm pretty excited to keep going with it. It seems really interesting, and I want to know, it's kind of like a swap kind of thing. They swap places and something bad happens, and now one's going to be stuck in the other person's life, and while in their previous life they're going to be presumed dead because the plane crashed. And the person who helped Claire out with getting the fake ID, all the money and everything like that, when she tried calling him or her, I forget I forget who it is, but when she tries calling him, it says that the number is no longer in service. And so now she's thinking, okay, did I write the number wrong, or what's going on? Because now she's like really on her own, pretending to be somebody completely different. So she's got no idea what's going on, no idea what to do, and it seems pretty exciting. So we're going to keep going, and we'll see you in the next clip. Alright guys, I'm on page 134 now, and we are discovering that Ava is not who she appears to be. The past bunch of pages since my last update has pretty much been kind of exploring her life, what she does, and it appears as if she's in some like drug organization group. And so while Claire is exploring her house, she stumbles across pretty much nothing of a relative husband who had cancer and passed away. So now you're kind of getting the sense of, okay, maybe she's getting away for a she's wanted purpose. Like she's wanted for, like she got busted or something like that, and now she just needed to get away, and she found what she'll consider some moron who wanted to switch with her, and she found that in the person of Claire. However, she does see during a broadcast of the crash, like a news thing, she does see somebody with what appears to be the same pink sweatshirt she gave Ava to go onto the plane. So then she gets like a little thought, like, okay, well maybe she ended up not even boarding. She could have escaped, but then she brushes that idea away with, she was already on the plane. There's no way that would have been possible, and is believing that she is dead. She still cannot get in contact with her friend. I still don't remember his name or her name. It's a guy. I can't remember his name, and it's bothering the heck out of me. But you find out that her husband, because she kind of hacked his phone and emails and stuff, and so she's been able to see the communication he's been having with other people. And so we just heard that he just wants information gotten rid of, deleted, or like he need the dental records or something like that. So I'm thinking that he's got some secret that she doesn't know about either. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going to happen with this book. I don't know where it's going to go. But so far I'm really liking it, and we'll see where it goes from here. Alright guys, I'm on page 220 in The Last Flight, and it's been getting pretty good. I still have got no real prediction of what's going to happen, because in the section I just read, it was stated that in the flight that Ava took, being Claire, her seat was empty. And so now Claire is thinking that, okay, maybe she did not get on the plane, and now it's starting to get a little confusing. So what happened? Did she get off? Was she just like, say, like in the bathroom or something? So I don't know where it's going to go with that, but I got a feeling that she did not get on the plane, and I don't know how to predict it. This one's actually got me kind of confused with, in a good way. I've read books where I get confused and it's just not good, but this is It's a good confusion. And on Claire's end, she is a waitress at a restaurant with her new friend, Kelly. And she was working and somebody said her name because she intervened in a party for the Oakland Athletics, the Oakland A's. And she was in a video where I think it was a player, kind of showed some abuse towards his wife, and she kind of like stepped in, and that went viral, and a lot of people were making comments saying, hey, doesn't that look like Rory's dead wife? And so people are like getting like theories like, oh, she's still alive, this and that. And the last part of the section I just read, she gets a voicemail, and it's from Danielle, who is a friend of both Rory and hers. And if her concern now is if she knows, Rory knows that she is still alive. And so now it's, in my opinion, speculation as to, I don't think either of the girls that switch spots are dead. Obviously Claire isn't, but I feel Ava isn't dead either. But I don't know where she would be right now. Because she was supposed to go on the plane to Puerto Rico, and that's definitely not what happened. So I don't know where she is. I mean, my prediction is she might come back, and there's going to be like a confrontation between the two of them, but I don't know where it'd go from there. So Ava's a big question mark for me. I don't know what the hell's going on with her. I don't know if she's actually dead, she's still alive, but I'm going to find out. And I'm going to finish this book, and I'm going to let you know what I think about it. So we'll see you guys at the end. Alright guys, so I just finished The Last Flight. I'm not going to spoil anything with the ending. I thought it was a clever ending. I wish we kind of knew what happened with one of the people in the book, because it's not really... They make it seem like it's one way, but it also could go another way. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I would give it probably 4 stars. Doesn't quite hit the 5 or 4.5, but 4 I would say is a solid choice for this. This was actually my book of the month pick for the month of June. Finally getting to it now. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, Last Flight, 4 stars. I would recommend it. It's kind of makes you think a lot about what, is going on in what I would say today's world too, with the overpowering men versus women, and the character Claire being able to come out and kind of finally get what's been going on behind the scenes out to the world. And I think that's a big statement to make, and it's something that's going on, and it sucks. But yeah, I really enjoyed the book. 4 stars, highly recommend it. And we'll dive into the next one. Guys, I'm on page 85 of The Shadows, and it's been pretty interesting so far. Charlie and Paul were good friends when they were kids, and Charlie ends up committing like a murder when they were younger, and then he kind of goes missing. And so Paul ends up coming back to his hometown 25 years later because his mom is sick, and now he's kind of reliving what happened. His mom keeps saying that she keeps seeing something in the house, and like something with like the red hands. So, I mean, I've got a prediction. I think because when they're younger, they were trying to like control their dreams, like lucid dreaming. And so what they did is them and a group of people online like devised like a plan to like make sure you keep a diary, a dream diary, keep it by the side of your bed. When you wake up or before you go to bed, say something like, I'm going to remember this dream. And then when you wake up the next day, you remember the dream and you write everything down. And they try and look for patterns so they can catch it. And when they catch it, then they're able to control the dream. My theory I have for this is Charlie was able to successfully control his dream, and while dreaming committed a murder, but then something pulled him into his dream state and took his physical presence with him. So I feel like, I mean, that's my guess. I feel like Charlie is stuck in like some like dream dimension, the shadows, and he's like somehow trying to communicate with Paul's mom, but I mean, that's just my prediction as of right now. I still got a ton to go through, but that's my prediction. She keeps seeing someone with red hands. He committed a murder, blood on his hands. That's my guess. And because they mentioned in the book that Charlie's been missing ever since the murders happened. They never like convicted him because he disappeared. That's my prediction, is that while they were doing like lucid dream testing stuff, he got sucked in, murdered someone, and then like some demon or something like that, you know, jumped into him, killed someone, and then like took him somewhere. That's my guess. But otherwise, I'm pretty excited still. The last one was my June book of the month book, and this is my July pick actually. So I'm reading 2 bottoms in one video. So. Alright guys, I'm on page 163 of The Shadows, and right away off the bat my theory was wrong. So the red hands is apparently some spirit in the dream world that the friends try and conjure up to kill a bully that's bullying these kids, Paul, Charlie, and I think there's 2 more friends, but they're like not really important, I'll say. So Charlie is like really sinister with this. He's like, yeah, let's conjure up the dude with the red hands and let's kill these bullies. And Paul's like, yo, that's messed up. Like, why? And so they go into lucid dreaming, and then we go to Paul is like having what he believes to be a dream, and it's gotten to the point where he's telling himself to wake up, and he can't wake up. He's not waking up, and then he's realizing that this is reality. This is really happening. So then we jump to his mom in the future, who's pretty much dying or she's got dementia. She's not really doing too well, and she pretty much just told not Charlie, Paul. I'm starting to confuse the characters. Sorry. She starts telling Paul that she saw Charlie in the woods one night. The kid who's been missing for 25 years, who supposedly caused the murder of that one bully. But now that they're talking about conjuring up the dude with red hands, and Paul's mom mentioning red hands, I don't have a theory now. I'm gonna finish the book, and I really want to know what's gonna happen because it's really interesting, and I'm getting into it. I read The Whisper Man by Alex North too, and the Shadows so far has been better than that, in my opinion. Alright guys, I'm a little into chapter 30 in the Shadows, and a lot has transpired, but it's starting to turn into Whisperman for me. The times just to me are getting confused, and I think I'm in now, but I don't know. I'm starting to get lost, which is exactly what happened with Whisperman. There's 2 different narrators for Whisperman, I think. No, only one. And this one there's 2, between a girl's point of view and a boy's point of view. And I think I'm in the now time, and it's starting to get jumpy back and forth. I'm pretty sure I'm in now because they're going over the girl's like story called The Red Hands, which is about a boy who goes into the woods looking for his dad, but his dad's like a murderer or was murdered or something like that, and he's got blood on his hands, which that killed the theory from earlier I had. But I'm starting to get a little lost right now. So I'm really hoping the last couple chapters that are left pick back up and put me right back on the right trail, because I don't want this to be another Whisperman where I'm just absolutely lost with what's going on. Because I really have enjoyed the first like 3/4 of this book. I'm getting to the home stretch now, and I don't want it to turn into just like a big old shamble of mishmash poop, and I want to enjoy it. So hopefully it gets better, and I will see you at the end. Alright guys, I just finished The Shadows by Alex North, and it turned out to be a complete Whisperman. The first, like, 2/3 to 3/4 of this book was really solid, and then it just turned into a hot steaming pile of garbage. I honestly still don't even know what happened. That's just how confusing it got towards the end. Like, you're following the story, and then all of a sudden, like, another person gets tossed in, and then another person's tossed in. I just started losing track of A, the time period, and B, who I'm following. I got really confused. If you read this book and you understand it, let me know in the comment section down below what happened in the last, like, 1/3 or 1/4 of the book. Because I was lost. I had no idea what was going on. It was just like Whisperman. It just got messy and chunky at the end, and it just... my opinion, it sucked. This started out probably a solid 4-star. Very solid. And again, Alex North coming in clutch with the crappy ending for me. It's a 2-star. Hopefully I can turn it around with book 3. Right now I'm on an average of, I think, 3 stars. So I'm hoping this 3rd book here is going to boost it up, and we can end this vlog with a really solid book. So let's get that one started. We'll see you in the next clip. Alright guys, I'm on page 95 of The Only Good Indians, and so far I've been enjoying the story. This guy named Lewis has pretty much been getting, like, it's a group of 4 Indian friends, Gabe, Cass, Lewis, I can't think of the 4th one's name, but they killed an elk a long time ago, and it was pregnant, and Lewis is like the first one being haunted by it. I don't know why yet. I don't understand the whole why it's coming for him or for them. But it's been pretty good so far, and I'm enjoying it, and I am excited to keep going with it, and we'll see you guys in the next clip. Alright guys, so I just finished The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones. I'm confused with it. I know it seemed to me that it had like a bunch of different stories kind of going at the same time, even though it was continuous. I got kind of lost in it quite a bit. I picked it back up around when Lewis was in his house trying to like get an idea of who the elk head was, with Shayna, I can't even remember her name, but she came over and she ended up dying. He pretty much like, because he had a very good assumption that she was the elk head coming out to like try and kill him or kill his friends, and so he took her into like a room where a motorcycle was or something like that, killed her in there. Then his wife came home and she died accidentally, and everyone was accusing him of being the murderer. And then all of a sudden his wife like gave birth to an elk, and then from there it just kind of, I don't know what happened. Within a week it sounded like the girl was grown up, and I just got really lost after that part where like the elk is born. There's like a bunch of mishmash stories, kind of like The Shadows for me. It didn't work. I know this has got a good audience of people who really enjoy it and really like it, but The Only Good Indians was not for me in this case. So I unfortunately am going to be giving this probably 2.5 stars, just because I got really confused with it. The first, it was like the middle section where it got like, I was able to get into it. The first part was kind of confusing. They were kind of back and forth on what's going on. And then I finally picked up on it when the guy was trying to get the girl to look through like the fan blades and like see, if she was the elk head. And then as soon as the baby elk was born and it was a girl, I had no idea what was going on. So unfortunately this did not work for me. I'm going to be giving this 2.5 stars. Sorry about it, Stephen Graham Jones. You did good with Night of the Mannequins though. Alright, so that concludes this reading vlog. Was this an overall underachieving vlog? I would say so, just because the books didn't stack up the way I thought they were going to. The vlog, I honestly going into it thought it was the last flight was not going to be my favorite, but it ended up being, in my opinion, the only solid good one that there was. The two here, the endings were just, I didn't know what was going on. So unfortunately, The Only Good Indians got 2.5 stars. The Shadows got 2 stars, and Last Flight actually got 4 stars. It was a really good book, actually. I really enjoyed it. So maybe I'll give Julie Clark another read. I don't know if she's got another book out or anything, but maybe I'll look into it and give her a read. But unfortunately, these two just were not doing it for me this vlog. So fortunately, that's how it goes sometimes. Hopefully the next one I do kind of picks it back up. Still kind of planning what that's going to be. The 3 books I have here I'll link down below. They might not have worked for me, but I know that for some people these are good books and they might work for you. If you're into, those kind of endings where it's, it's not really definite, like this is what happened. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been my 2020 release reading vlog. I've got another one planned already because obviously a lot of books came out this year. And I think the next one's going to be a little more exciting for me. I hear a lot more about those ones than I did these 3. So we'll see. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Later.